Today is very auspicious day, Disappearance Day of Personal Associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Abhiram Thakur. Our Gurudev wrote his biography in the book. I will read that. Now in India, I also bought this book in original Bangla language. So if sometimes I will have to check something, then I can see. Also, I bought Puranic Charitavali in original Bengali of Gurudev, and Pralat Charitra, Dhruva Charitra, and Dashavatar, all books of Gurudev. I bought in original Bangla. Also, I bought Shikastaka with commentaries of Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Upadeshamrita with commentaries, and Bhajan Rahasya. All these important books which we are using, I now got in original in case of need. Sometimes I wanted to check something but could not, so now I got them. Abhiram Thakur. Shri Abhiram Thakur, or also called Shri Ramdas. Shri Nityananda Prabhu was Abhiram Thakur's life and soul. He was Shri Dam, one among the 12 cowherd boys in Braja. Shri Dam is one of the dearest cowherd boys, and he is elder than Krishna. Pura Shri Dama Namasit Abhiramo Dhunam Khan Dvatringshata Janer Eva Vahyam Kashtam Uvaha Sah. He who was previously known as Shri Dam is today Abhiram Thakur. He picked up a piece of wood that took 32 men to lift. This is from Gaur Ganodesh Dipika. Because these personal associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are transcendental persons. They are not ordinary persons. So sometimes they display some miraculous activities in this world. We also see in other cases that they may eat poison, nothing will happen. They may raise someone from the dead. Here he could lift that piece of wood that 32 men had to lift. So like this is nothing for them, because they are all powerful, they are divine personalities. No limitations for this Maya world. Abhiram Thakur lived with his wife Malini Devi in the village of Kanakul Krishnanagar in the Hooghly district. This year I asked Brihad Bharati Maharaj that I read in book of Gurudev that Srinivasacharya was ordered to be married by his mother, his guru, and Advaita Acharya. So he married. And then later on, again he had to marry on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then I asked Brihad Bharati Maharaj, what is the teaching here for us? Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, we will read later on, we have to follow in the footsteps of previous Mahajanas. Recent ones are these of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and ancient ones are those in Puranic Charitavali. Because I told him that in Raghunath Bhatta Goswami's case, Mahaprabhu told opposite. You go home, you serve your parents, but don't get married. After they will leave up this world, you go to Vrindavan. So how we can understand? Then he said, because of different requirement, they have different sevas to do in this world. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur also I mentioned. It is not because I said, is this according to Adhikar? But I meant in relation to conditioned souls. Because conditioned souls, they have different Adhikars. So they need some examples. That was my idea. And he said in their cases, it is no question of Adhikar, because they're all perfected souls. But it is the question of requirement in Lila, why they have to do like this. And for us also it is same. What is good for one is not good for another. Opposite. It depends. So ultimately we have to follow what Guru orders for our progress. And he said that is also only for middle stage persons. Some are like low class men, they are not doing any bhajan. And you have those who are very advanced in bhajan. For neither of them, regulations are applicable because they will not follow. Those high advanced souls, they don't require, it is not required from them to be regulated by Shastra and Guru. They are already in transcendental plane. They have their own eternal identity realized, Swarup, and according to their rasa, their different rasas, they will serve. For them, regulations are not necessary. And for low class, they will not accept. It is for middle class. For sadhakas, for them regulations are necessary. And there are so many regulations in Shastra. They are for different levels and for different persons like this. Ultimately, we have to follow what Gurudev orders for us, then we can progress. That was his reply in brief, I'm telling. So here we see Abhiram Thakur lived with his wife Malini Devi in the village of Kanakul Krishnanagar in the Hooghly district. Kana refers to Dwarakeshwar river. Kula means banks. Thus, the village of Krishnanagar on the banks of the Dwarakeshwar river is also known as Kanakul Krishnanagar. This is different from Krishnanagar near Navadip. One mat is there, this is different Krishnanagar. At the doors of his temple stands a large bakul tree, and the place is popularly called Siddha Bakul Kunja. This is the place where Abhiram Thakur first sat down when he arrived in the village. The Gopinath deity was found when digging for a pond first began. This pond goes by the name of Sri Abhiram Kunda. The temple also houses the deities of Braja Ballabha, Gopal, and Shalagram Shila. We see similarly when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was constructing his Bhajan Kutir in Calcutta, when there was digging for foundation, the one Kurma deity appeared from there, manifest. Kurma Bhagavan, tortoise. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave that tortoise to Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that time Bimala Prasad, to worship. And he gave him mantra, Kurma mantra, how he should worship, offer items. Because Kurma avatar will rescue the Vedas. Like that, it was Prabhupada's mission to rescue the Gauriya Vaishnavism from the degraded state. so many immoral activities in the name of Gauriya Bhajan, he had to rescue. Also, we have such cases. Jayadev Goswami found Radha Madhav Ditis in river, self-manifest. That Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj found Diti of Vasudev in London, in drain, self-manifest. So Diti is Krishna himself. He can appear anywhere he likes. He can also disappear. And by any kind of lila he can appear, by any kind of lila he can disappear. Also one devotee asked Brihad Bharati Maharaj, should we pronounce V or B? Govinda or Gobinda? Or here we see Vraja Vallabha written, but I pronounce Braja Vallabha. Then Brihad Bharati Maharaj said, according to Sanskrit, proper would be V, Vallabha. But if there is any physical difficulty for someone cannot pronounce, then this pronunciation is not so important. What is important is our bhav, our devotion, mood. He said, like small child, he cannot properly pronounce any word, but still only by his crying he can attract the attention of mother without fail. He's taking full shelter and crying or saying some words, but mother will understood. He's crying for me, and she will give, her attention will be caught. Like that, if someone may not like fully properly pronounce, but if devotion is there, then Krishna will be pleased. And we see also in this way he explains some other, but also I'm remembering now like that Brahmin in South India, he could not properly pronounce Sanskrit when reading Gita, but he had full faith in his Guru and Krishna, means devotion. So Krishna himself in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was attracted to go there and hear from him. But others, they were properly pronouncing Sanskrit. But Krishna did not come there to hear them, because devotion is what is important. Sri Abhiram Thakur was a very vigorous and powerful Acharya. He engaged in preaching on the orders of Lord Nityananda Prabhu and saved many atheists and people opposed to the Vaishnava religion. Abhiram Goswami possessed tremendous spiritual power. The atheists trembled whenever they saw him. He was intoxicated as though he had been possessed by Nityananda Prabhu, and his enchanting mercies are famed throughout the world. This is from Bhakti Ratnakar. Abhiram Das was fully absorbed in the mood of friendship. He lifted a stick that contained 16 knots and prepared a flute out of it. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This Chaitanya Charitamrita verse is making reference to the same piece of wood that, according to the Gaur Ganodesh Deepika, would have taken hundreds of people to pick it up. After Abhiram Das lifted it, he held it like a flute. He held in his hands a piece of wood that 100 men could not move, in the way one holds a flute. Bhakti Ratnakar. Flute is not very heavy like for us to hold. So because he's not ordinary man, personal sources, they can do anything. Nothing is difficult for them to do. They are beyond these material limitations. The devotees were greatly astonished when they saw him perform such superhuman feats. According to one legend, whenever Abhiram Thakur paid his obeisances to a stone or statue, if it was not a Vishnu Shila or a consecrated deity, means installed deity by a pure devotee, it would crack or be reduced to powder. We cannot make Krishna appear by our own free will. Krishna has to come, and then that will be worshipable. It is not that we can decide what is worshipable, what is not. For 4 items, they are naturally worshipable by the will of Krishna. Tulsi, Bhagavatam, Vaishnava, and Ganga. Naturally they are worshipable. But for deity, it must be installed by a real devotee on whose devotion Krishna will appear and he will accept service. Otherwise, forcefully we cannot get the service of Krishna. So some people, they cheat. They will put some statue and they will say this is Krishna's deity, but their target inside is to get money from people. The people will give donations for the seva, but they have no intention to do seva. Their intention is to collect money. So if such money consciousness is there, then there is no Krishna consciousness. Who can have contact with Krishna? Only one who is inclined to serve him, not just anyone. So Kanaka Kamini Pratishta, one who has these desires, cannot have contact with Krishna. Tulsi Das, he said, Jaha Ram, Taha Nahi Kam, or Jaha Kam, Taha Nahi Ram. Where there is Ram, there can be no Kam, means lust. Or where there is lust, selfish enjoyment for money, name and fame, or sensual enjoyment, there is no Krishna there. Krishna is absolute. Absolute is by himself and for himself. If you are not for him, then you can have no contact with him. You will have contact with Maya. Ravan took Sita, but that was Maya Sita, because with lust you cannot have contact. With Dham, name, deity, anything, cannot have contact. Sadhakas, they, by the grace of Sadhu Sangha, Guru, there will be some devotion awakened in them, and they will start doing bhajan service. At that time, they may not be fully free from all other anarthas due to previous bad habits like this, but that is different case. Up to their degree of surrender and bhajan, they will have contact with Krishna. Though those things are present, but they are having different view of those things, as explained in Bhagavatam by Krishna. My devotees, they are worshipping me with faith, and they know all these materialistic activities, they will ultimately give suffering, and that they cannot give real happiness, they know. But still, due to previous habits, they are not able to give them up. Such they're there, so they will worship me with faith, and while they will be engaged in enjoying that, it will not be like with interest or with adoration, as with conditioned souls. They think this is topmost thing. And the only thing, only happiness, this is at all cost we should get. Devotees don't think like that. Even they're doing, but they are understanding the real value, and they regret, repent, condemn themselves. Why I'm doing this? It is not good. So this thinking is different between sadhaka and ordinary conditioned soul. So for ordinary conditioned soul, they have all other desires. They have no desire to serve Krishna. They can have no any contact with Krishna. Sadhakas may have up to the degree of their surrender, and those who are fully surrendered, they're always in connection with Supreme Lord. This also I heard this year from Brihad Bharati Maharaj. He said that sadhakas, they always have this confusion, doubts, problems, all these, and lack of enthusiasm, faith, lack of surrender, all these things are there, drawbacks. So for them it is always necessary to have contact with some realized soul, pure devotee. Because that pure devotee is always in practical, direct contact with Supreme Lord. Always. They are never losing that connection. So if we come in contact with them, then that will help us in our bhajan, to give us enthusiasm, to give us proper guidance, encouragement, all this. So it is necessary. Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra, Koi Labha Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Such realized souls. So here we see, if someone is cheating with deity, means statue, then Abhiram Thakur, when he will give Dandavat, that will break. Such was his power to expose this is fake. Fake devotion is here. Where there is fake devotion, there can be no real God. A fake deity, that will be removed. And further, non-devotees were also unable to tolerate his pranams. If there is any fake cheater devotee, he will put tilak, tulsi mala, and will hold japa mala in his hand. But why? Not to serve Krishna, but so that people will give respect to him, give money to him, serve him, like that is his target. So if Abhiram Thakur would offer obeisance to such a Vaishnava, then that Vaishnava will die. Means fake Vaishnava. He will die. So that it is exposed that he's a fake Vaishnava and he's exploiting other people in the name of like Vaishnavism or Bhakti. So that was exposed by Abhiram in such a way. But all acharyas, realized souls who have this duty to preach Krishna consciousness or devotion to Krishna, it is their duty also to expose such fake devotion for the sake of sincere souls, so that they may not be misled. Those who are innocent and ignorant, they have proper faith, but they are not so experienced and they don't have fully proper clear vision yet. So to guide them, they will expose such fake things also. All acharyas, in one way or another. Like someone asked Swami Maharaj, what do you think about, I will not tell name, but one famous person. And they told him, he is preaching, there is no need of any guru. Everything is inside you, no need of any guru. Then Swami Maharaj said, then why he is coming to preach this? As teacher or as guru, why he is telling this? He's telling there is no need of any guru, but he's telling this in the form of guru or teacher. So he's bogus, he's a rascal, isn't it? And that man could not immediately admit. So again and again, Sai Maharaj asking her, one lady, he's a rascal, isn't it? And until she could admit, he was asking. Why? That is not out of false ego, it is out of compassion, so that we will not be misled by such unauthorized persons. Nityananda Prabhu's son Vir Chandra Goswami and Ganga Mata Goswamini survived his obeisances, which confirmed their divinity, their real devotees. These things are written in Ashtakas, composed by Abhiram Thakur in their name. Srila Abhiram Thakur possessed an amazing whip, which he named Jaya Mangal. Whip means to beat that, like a rope with which you can encourage horse to move fast, or a donkey or something. Or they used for slaves to beat them, that is whip. Anyone touched by this whip would immediately experience the transcendental ecstasies of prema. One day Srinivasacharya visited Abhiram Thakur, who touched the whip to the body of Srinivas Acharya. Abhirama's wife Malini stopped her husband from doing so again, saying that Srinivas was just a young lad who wouldn't be able to tolerate the effects of divine love. Nevertheless, Srinivas Acharya was very dear to Abhiram and received many blessings from him. Though not his initiated disciple, he was like a disciple to him. The Jayamangal whip is still held in a chest in Krishnanagar temple. It is not that mood of disciple and guru can only be with if you got initiation. No, like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was not initiated by Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, but their relationship was like that, disciple and guru. That is why we are keeping in Guru Parampara like this, because that was prominent. Also, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj used to hear Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhagavatam class and used to explain to others that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is not ordinary person. He is personal associate of Mahaprabhu. He told this to everyone. So this relationship was there, though not like mantra connection, but still that divine connection is there. Also in Bishran Chakri Thakur, Naratan Thakur, like this. Our Gurudev told in that transcendental plane they are associating, they are intimately connected. In their Siddha Swarup and the Rupa Manjari, they are all intimately known to each other. In this world we may see they never met, but he did not initiate like this. But those who have transcendental eyes, like Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he knows how they are connected, intimately connected. So he could see that Guru Parampara in this way. But those who have material eyes, they cannot understand this Guru Parampara. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, the following statement is also made. O Srinivas, how much more can I say? Abhiram descended into this world in order to deliver it. Appearing in a Brahmana family, he became a scholar in all the scriptures and an unequaled musician, not only in song and playing musical instruments, but in dance also. He married at Nityananda Prabhu Balaram's request. His wife Malini is also indescribably powerful. dancing also. That is also for the service of Krishna. Playing instruments, singing for him, dancing for him. Pakrashar Pandit also was dancer, and others in kirtan groups. But it should not be done for your own entertainment, enjoyment, but as a service to Krishna. So he was trained in this one. Many people say that the Bali Mat in Puri was established by Abhiram Thakur. An annual festival is held in Kanakula Krishna Nagar on his disappearance day, that is to say, the Chaitra Krishna Saptami, means today. Our Paranguru Guru, Jagat Guru, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, visited this site along with his associates when traveling on the parikrama of Sri Gaura Mandal. See here, they did not correctly write. They wrote Gaura, like Gaurango. But here it is not meant Gaura, but Gaura with soft R. That is Gaura, like as in Gauria, that is Bengal. Sometimes you will find also they wrote Gaura Desh and in brackets Navadip, but it is not correct. Gaura Mandal or Gaura Desh with soft R, like as in Gauria, that is whole Bengal, including East Bengal, where Mahaprabhu's associates, they appeared. Not only Navadip. And Navadip, you can say Gauradham as in Gaurango, you can say, but you have to clearly know what is meant in what place, because pronunciation is similar but not the same. So this is to be corrected. At that time, the devotees in charge of the temple greeted him with great hospitality and honored him and his followers with special treatment. This place is not in Navadip itself. It is outside, so it is part of Gaura Mandal, not Navadip, as Gaura Mandal. Also, sometimes short A or long A will totally change the meaning, or this soft R or hard R. So see, these devotees, they could understand about Prabhupada. He's a real devotee, so they respected him. So today is Srila Abhiram Thakur's disappearance day. I am bowing down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy for the service of his lotus feet and the lotus feet of his object of worship, Gaur Nityananda Prabhu, Radha Krishna. Because cowherd boys also, they are serving Radha Krishna in some way or another. Depends what kind of saka they are. There are 5 kinds of cowherd boys, like 5 kinds of gopis. Also, cowherd boys are of different type, and there are innumerable then varieties in these 5 types. Different moods they will serve Krishna. So we have to purify our heart by being regulated. That is Vaidhi Bhakti, by Guru and Shastra. Shastra under the guidance of Guru, not independently, because in Shastra there are so many rules and regulations given for conditioned souls, but not all are applicable for all at the same time. So Shastra's regulation, but under the guidance of Guru, he's like a doctor. He will give proper medicine. Then following that, we can clear our heart. Then we can realize our eternal relation with Krishna, in particular identity. And what kind of rasa, mood, what service, everything we can realize in higher stages of devotion. I heard from Brihad Bharati Maharaj. Also from Jacak Maharaj in Mayapur, he also told that by chanting Harinam properly and also always chanting, then that will take us to Goloka. And then he explained little about Goloka, just to give us some glimpse what is the point of our bhajan and what will take us there. Chanting, and then that seva is there. So before I went to India, we were reading Bhakti Aloka, essays by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, commentaries on Upadeshamrita. One second, let me see. Yes, we started this last topic, which is sadhu vritti, following in the footsteps of sadhus, or following their way of life. Like our Gurudev told, if sadhu is living physically far from us, still we can have association of him if we follow his chitta vritti, that tendency of his heart. But we may be very close to sadhu physically, but we may not have association with him if we are thinking other things. Sadhu is thinking about service of Krishna, but I'm thinking other things. So I cannot have association with him. So we started, but I think it is better we again go so that we remember. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I have previously written individually about Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhaurya, Tattat Karma Pravartana and Sangatyaga. Now I will write about Sadhu Vritti. Utsaha means enthusiasm, Nishchaya means firm faith, Dhaurya means patience or perseverance, Tattat Karma Pravartana, to do actions according to Shastra and Guru, and Sangatyaga. We have to give up association of non-devotees, and not only outside, but it also means inside myself, that asat sangha is what? Other desires that we have to give up if we want to progress in devotion, because they will take us to other directions. They are obstacles to bhajan. We cannot give our proper attention to Krishna. Now I will write about sadhu vritti. There are two types of sadhus, householder devotees and renounced devotees. I will write separately about the behavior or vritti of the householder and renounced devotee. Though the suitable behavior of these two are separate, some behaviors are suitable for both, but this will be considered separately. The word vritti has two meanings, tendency and lifestyle. One's nature is one's tendency. The tendency generated from one's nature is the dharma of that jiva. It is said in Bhagavatam, Prayah Svabhava Vihito Nrinam Dharmo Yuga Yuga Vedadrik Bih Smrito Rajan Pretya Cheha Cha Sharma Krit. O king, those in knowledge of the Vedas say that in every age, an occupation according to one's nature generally brings happiness in this life and after death. Remaining in an occupation according to one's nature, humans pass their lives and can attain bhakti to Krishna beyond the gunas. Otherwise, they fall into adharma and cannot attain gradual progress. It is said, Vritya Svabhava Kritaya Vartamana Sakarma Krit Hitva Svabhava Jam Karma Shaner Nirgunatam Yat. If one acts in his profession according to his nature, after gradually giving up his actions according to his nature, when they are fulfilled, that their purpose, he attains the stage beyond the gunas. And even that time, he will not give up totally everything. Never he will give up his occupation for maintenance. But he will use everything, that his life, everything, for the service of Krishna. But because he has no false ego, I'm Brahmin, I'm Kshatriya, I'm Brahmachari, I'm this, that cannot be called as Varnasham Dharma or Karma anymore. It is called Bhakti. Because ego is right. I am eternal servant of Krishna. Mahaprabhu told that verse, before doing puja with articles of Radha, Krishna, Gauranga, Gurudev, you have to remember that verse. Utter and remember that verse spoken by Mahaprabhu. It is called Bhuta Shuddhi, purification of your identity. There Mahaprabhu is saying, I am not Naham Vipra, Naham that verse. I am not Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. I am not Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas or Brahmachari. Nothing. That is not my real identity. I am not of this world, of gunas. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Gopinath, means Krishna. So unless we are established in this eternal identity, devotion to Krishna is not possible. So first you have to understand this point by the grace of Guru. So here it is written, then he attains the stage beyond the gunas. By the word nirguna, one should understand bhakti. As is stated in Bhagavatam, in this verse I read, Tasma deham imam lavdva jnana vijnana sambhavam guna sangam vinir dhuya mam bhajantu vichakshanaha. Therefore, having achieved this human form of life, which allows one to develop knowledge and realization through bhakti, those who are intelligent should free themselves from all contamination of the gunas and worship me. From the phrase nirgunam mat upashrayam, it is established that what is produced from bhakti is nirguna. Nihsango mam bhajet vidvan apramato jitendriya rajas tamas chabijayet sattva sang seva muni. A wise sage, free from all material association and alert, should subdue his senses and worship me. As a preliminary, he should conquer rajas and tamas by engaging himself only with things in sattva. That is preliminary. First to come to satyaguna, then from satyaguna he should totally become free from gunas and attain pure devotion. Jitendriya means one who conquered all his indriya, senses. By good fortune, I got association of our Bhakti Soda Jitendriya Maharaj. Gurudev gave him this name. Jitendriya Maharaj. One who conquered all his senses by engaging in the service of Krishna. So Maharaj, I heard him twice this year, once in Mayapur and in Gwalpara one point. I heard many Harikathas, but this point he repeated 2 times. There is 4 kinds of bhakti mentioned in Bhagavatam. One is tamasic bhakti, one is rajasic bhakti, one is sattvic bhakti, one is nirguna bhakti. Tamasic bhakti means if desire to harm other people is present in one's heart, that tendency of violence. He's doing bhajan, but that is present, that is tamasic bhakti. And rajasic is one wants name and fame. Doing bhajan, but wants name and fame. I did such a big feast. I opened so many temples. I did this big thing that I have so many, so all this. He wants fame. If desire for fame is there, it is rajasic bhakti. Then sattvic bhakti, he's doing bhajan, but he wants nice arrangement in this world, nice house, nice family, nice all this, happiness, environment, all this. He wants everything should be nice. That is sattvic bhakti. But one who desires only satisfaction of Krishna, nothing else, he's doing for the service of Krishna, that is only called as nirguna bhakti or pure bhakti. And we should come to that platform being guided by Shuddha bhakti. So not all bhaktis are of same category. So tomorrow we can further hear about this.